Stay real, stay real.
Welcome to Shuffle, a Polo cast, hosted by Mr. Paul Iska, Mr. Caleb Christensen, and myself, Mr. Andy Willis. Say hi to the kids, boys.
Well, my name's Christian.
Is it not Christensen?
No, it's totally not.
I have you in my phone as Caleb
Well,
Christensen.
that's just straight up wrong.
Sounds a little bit more loyal.
I'm a bad friend.
A little bit. That's what it
I'm
seems like.
sorry.
Well, Willis, what are we talking about today?
Today we're going to be talking about, I guess we're doing my origin story, which ought to be interesting,
Yes.
and the sort of the debate that has come up within the last couple months of clipless versus flat pedals. And the Europeans seem to be really taking off with this idea, so we'll
Flat
sort of
pedals.
debate it back and forth with you guys and myself who runs flat pedals and versus you guys who run
Yeah, we've got a
clipless.
Very diverse pedal crowd.
Well,
today.
we at least have one from each side.
We're
Yeah.
pedaling.
Okay, well.
All right, let's bust into the
Yeah,
interview then, Caleb.
that's gonna
Ooh, interview.
lead us into just asking all these questions about this Willis guy. He's
Oh, Lord.
kind of an interesting character.
Yeah.
Hold on to your socks, folks.
Yeah, exactly. This is gonna be nuts. So, like, obviously, like, we're just gonna lead off with like, where do you play polo? Like,
I play polo in the wonderful state of Ohio,
the heart.
specifically the heart of Ohio, Columbus. And this is my going into my 5th season.
that's
I
nice.
believe.
That's super sweet.
Do you
That's
play
a long
anywhere
time.
else?
No.
Okay.
mm-mm.
Yeah.
No, just here.
Like, but like, have you played anywhere else? Like, what's your tournament like stuff look like?
I played in the first big tournament I played in was the Midwest tournament that we here in Columbus hosted. So that was what, 2-3 years ago.
Midwest. Yeah, that was the tournament.
Before it changed to Heartland.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would have played in it last year, but my genius ass didn't distinguish the fact that they had changed the name to Heartland. So everybody went to the Heartland tournament, and when everybody came back, I was like, "So, anybody want to play with me from Midwest?" They're like, "Dude, the
I
tournament is
can't believe that's why you didn't go.
Oh no, that's exactly why I didn't go. I'm like, oh,
Just got caught in the switch up.
never mind. Sorry.
It's like,
Glad y'all did well.
That's fucking crazy.
that's kind of a bummer. Like that's
Oh, I
that's
was
a
like-
really shitty way to miss a tournament.
I was sitting at that at our 11th Street court with just like an absolute shit look on my face. I was
Oh.
like, you
Who
gotta
broke
be
the news to
kidding
you?
me. I think it was you, Paul.
Really?
Yeah, because I asked, I said, "Hey, are you playing with anybody from Midwest?" You're like, "Dude, that just happened." I'm pretty sure it was you.
I broke the bad news.
I think so.
Was it at 11th?
It was at 11th.
Okay,
I was
I think
sitting
I
on the
remember that
bleachers
now.
at 11th. And
Oh
I
my
actually
gosh.
remember it very vividly because we were sitting on the far right of the benches and you had just sat down with your bag because you had just gotten there. I'm like, "Hey, are you playing at Midwest? Or you have a team?" You're like, "Dude, that already happened."
That's super shitty.
Yeah, I did.
That's
Like,
like the worst way to find out. Like that kind of happened to me with like the first tournament, like because I just started playing right before the first Midwest, the one
Mhm.
that you went your first tournament.
Yeah.
And like everyone was like talking about it and stuff, and like I wasn't paying attention because I didn't know what like tournaments and stuff were, and then like. I just like missed it, and everyone came back and was like, "Oh, that was such a great weekend! Like, oh, it was so cool." And I was like, "I didn't even hang out."
that happened to me too, because
I
I think
didn't
we
even-
kind of started at the same
Oh
time,
no,
Caleb.
we definitely did. but
and
it
we
was
just
like,
both were out of the loop.
like just I don't know, 'cause like it's super great that like the way that me and Paul got brought into the club, but that totally went right over
Our
all
heads.
like both of our heads, and I don't even think Natalie hung out there. Like nobody like let us know.
Well, at
Like,
least you guys were new. I'd been in the club for like 2 or 3 years at that point, which pretty much shows you where my finger was on the pulse of it.
Yeah,
Straight up my ass.
that's kind of a bummer.
Like, you got to be kidding me, man. But I played in. I've played in the last 2 equinoxes. I actually played
yeah,
with Caleb.
we played on a team together.
Yeah, we had a really good. I won my first polo tournament games with Caleb at the last equinox.
Yeah, that was a really good tournament. That was our we were come on dudes.
We had some come on dudes, and I wasn't even it was you,
Yeah.
Ben, and Spencer.
But Ben hurt his wrist. He
And
had
Ben
to
heard I
finish.
just showed up to
Mhm.
play some pickup, waiting, after the tournament. And you're like, can you
Hey,
play?
Hey, Willis, you want to hop in really quick? Ben's going to the hospital.
I was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And we ended up going on a run. It was
Yeah.
nice.
We finished like 5th overall.
Yeah,
Or
fit-
tie for 5th or something.
Yeah,
which
we
was
went into
super awesome.
we did pretty decent in the Swiss. I think we were ranked 9th after the Swiss rounds, and then after the tournament was said and done, we had finished 5th.
Yeah. Now,
Spectacular.
if you remember the game that we got knocked out of that tournament, I got hit in the eye
Yes.
by Lou. And I'm going to bring this up because Lou definitely had something to do with your new bike. And our next question for you is, what bikes have you played on, and what are you riding right now? So I feel like that's a pretty sweet segue for that one.
No, that is a good segue, and it's pretty cool because what I'm about to talk about, you can see sort of the evolution of somebody who has just started playing in his fifth, getting ready to go into his 5th season. I started out playing on a Huffy American. It was Huffy's version of a single-speed mountain bike. It was neon blue
Of course,
with
because it's a Huffy.
Yep.
Yeah.
with neon America across in an orange, like Dayglow orange.
Mm.
A
Nice.
friend had given it to me, and we had built it. Me and Josh Dyrene and my friend John Draskovic we built it up at Paradise Garage, and we went all out. We ended up getting the what is it? The brake line, the
I don't know.
Jaguar stuff that you put the brake line
Oh,
through.
yeah.
The housing.
The housing. Thank you. Yes, folks. I ride bikes
Is it orange too?
24/7.
What's your
And it was
housing
orange. It matched the bike completely. It was the
Is it like Cheez-It orange?
big time.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it was that bike literally was out to kill me, but I loved it because it was my first polo bike.
Yeah, your first polo bike is always.
And I was
first.
riding with knobby tires, and all it wanted to do was buck me off. If I wanted to turn left or right, with even the slowest amount of quickness.
So you get the jack.
I spent most of my time.
I feel like
going head first.
everyone's first polo bikes are always the most jackknifey,
Oh, dear Lord.
evil. Like they hate you because you made them into something they're not. And they
Oh,
just want to kill you for it.
Yeah, it's
They're
like
not
Frankenstein's monster coming to life. Like, I love you, but I hate you. Like,
Yeah.
fuck.
Some classic polo
I
bike
moved up
shit.
from there. I got it's not. I want to say a legendary bike. The stickers on it are legendary. I got my next bike was a Redline Urbis that Fletcher, who now plays in Portland with the.
God rest his going west soul.
Oh, dear, I miss him. He plays with the Prospectors, and he had gotten a new.
That's a pro team, right?
That is a pro team,
Oh.
and I bought his Urbis off of him, and that's what I've been riding the last 3 seasons or so.
That's that fixed gear freestyle.
It's
mess
Fix
you've
Your
been riding
Freestyle,
around.
yeah, and I love that bike, man. I named him Buck because he too liked to buck me off.
It's the theme.
It
we
was-
got going on here.
Yeah, it was awesome because it had great. Like it has a God Hates Bike Polo sticker that's on the front. I don't even think you can get that anymore. I've actually been at tournaments and people offered me money. Like, well, 2 things. One, I'm not going to pry this sticker off the front of my bike
Get
that's
out
been
the
there for like 5
hairdryers.
years. And 2, no. And then he's recently been retired, and I decided to get real with my polo, and I just actually today was the first day I played games on it. I just got a new rust belt.
Got that new special
I
fancy
got that
rust
new.
belt.
I got that new bike.
Got that sliding rust belt dropouts with the
Mhm.
new fork disc
And
mounts.
22 coats of clear coat.
Ooh.
Rust-Oleum, I hope.
Ooh.
It looks great. It's really cool. I decided to clear coat it, and I didn't want to. I've always wanted a raw bike, but I knew you don't want this thing to rust up. You're paying that kind of money. You want it to last, and I decided to clear coat it, and it was awesome. When I started applying the clear coat, it started bringing out the heat marks from the welds and
Yeah.
all the joints. So it almost looks like it had. I don't want to say that it looks painted, but I don't know how to describe it. It almost looks like it has stripes.
Yeah, your weld marks are like super beautiful.
Yeah,
Like,
they look.
I know I was telling you earlier that we got the that at Revolution they just got in this like new Chinelli that's like raw with clear coat on it, and your weld marks look better than theirs, like 10 times better.
It's
like
a
'cause yours-
testament to Lou's TIG abilities.
like
Yeah.
like your colors are like they go from like that like really dark, and then they get that bright blue pop to them, and like this is a Chinelli, so you know it's supposed to be like very aesthetically pleasing,
Right.
and you're getting like a workhorse from the Cleveland boys, and like the welds look amazing.
Yeah, they do. My dad's a welder pipe fitter, has been for 40 years, and it was cool. Grant from Rust Belt was in town Sunday, and he came to Paradise Garage to check out. He's never seen one of his bikes built up.
That's crazy.
Like, he's seen them built and played on, but he's never actually really seen one built up. And he came, and it was cool. It was him and my dad sat and talked shop for about 2 hours
Talked
while
a
the bike
bunch
was
of
being built.
Bunch of old man welding
Yeah, just talking about
some trade
just talking about
secrets.
welds, but my dad, I didn't even know. I guess I did know this, but I didn't know how many photos he had. He has Instagram, so he's like showing Grant all this stuff that he's welded that he's taking pictures of. I'm like, what? Like, you don't even share that with me. I'm your son, for guys. You just met this guy.
That's a bummer.
I'm like,
You're like
oh.
dad's bonding with some
I was like,
random stranger.
I'm really happy about my new bike, but I think my father hates me.
All right, Willis.
What do you got, Paul?
Here's the next one. What would you say your playing style is?
Uh,
And if it's changed, talk about the progression.
I think I started out, I was like, well, I'm just going to focus on defense. And my defense I was like, I'm going to get my offense from my defense. I want to be able to block. I want to be able to pick. I want to be able to, be sort of a pain in the butt to play against. And as I've gone through the last few seasons, I think I'm all right at defense. That with the new bike, I think it's going to make me better. I'm going to be quicker. I'm going to be able to keep up. That was the one thing with the Urbis I was having a hard time. I was getting burnt.
Yeah.
And if anybody forced me to turn left, I was beat. Because that Urbis did not want to turn left quickly at all.
You're from our club. Like,
Right.
you're from Columbus. Me and Paul are both from Columbus, and like I've ridden both of your bikes. I've ridden your old red line, that old thing, and I've ridden your new bike that you got literally like in the last week. And I'm so excited to see the difference in your play, because like I know that before you were good coming out of the back. You have like this really, really strong passing game. Like, your passing game is amazing. Like,
Oh, thanks, dude.
I'm always like super stoked I'm on your team, because like you like read the passes so well. But I'm super excited to see you with like an increase in like your speed and your turning, because I think you'll be able to slay on this new bike. I'm super excited.
That's what I am too. Thanks for saying that, kid.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I appreciate you sucking me off there. It was awesome. It was good.
I'm
It was
just
good.
wiping my mouth.
But no,
off.
I appreciate that. I really do. My one thing, I didn't realize this, and I just sort of toot my horn just a little bit. It was funny. David, after Equinox this year,
David Frankhauser.
he asked me. He's like, do you know how often your shots go on goal? I'm like, no. He's like, you don't pay attention? I'm like, no. He's like, you should really pay attention sometimes, because they don't always go in. But when you're playing in a game, when you shoot, it's almost always on goal. And I actually got a little bad for a couple weeks. I had that in my head.
You were like, oh,
And everything, my shots were going this way, that way. It didn't go anywhere near the goal. But recently, I've crept back in. I've been sort of paying attention. And if there's one thing I am proud of with my game is that my shooting ability. I feel like I could I have a shot for pretty much any position on the court, which before it almost had to be straight on all the time.
Yeah, I actually didn't think about that, but now that I think about it, whenever I do see you shoot, usually they are like on frame, and usually they're like a good, like strong, like shot. And on top of that, like most of them, like I don't know, like the way that you shoot kind of reminds me of like watching like Russo play. I don't know if you've ever watched him play. He usually likes to walk him in pretty close, because they're smarter shots the closer you are. It's just better that way. And you shoot like that, and I feel like often you don't get rewarded for your shots, but they're definitely like tests of the keeper and whoever's sitting in goal. Like should be a little worried about that, like in close, like point blank, not necessarily point blank, but just like in tight with like a decent amount of power on them to like slip by.
That's funny you mentioned Russo. One of the first friends I made outside of our club was Russo.
Was that traveling or was that
No,
at
they
Midwest?
they
Was that when they came
no
in?
they was the first Equinox I played in, and he came. I can't remember. I think he was playing with Nico, and he was just such a really nice guy. But the last couple times I've seen him play, except he's a little bit slower. He's
Russo,
very
yeah.
deliberate on
Everything he does, yeah.
everything he does. But sort of a little bit of the style he plays with, I've seen that before. And I actually pointed that out. I was like, I sort of play like him.
Well, that's what I think is interesting is that you kind of have his like style, but I think that you're like, because we in Columbus we talked about this in a different episode. I don't know if it'll have anything to do with this one, but we talked about the difference between Columbus polo and other cities, and we talked about how we usually play like a quick, like very quick transition game with a lot of like sprinting. And like so there like I feel like his style doesn't really have that as much, but like you're definitely, even on your old bike, your old heavy bike, you were still like a lot quicker and a lot better with the passing.
Yeah, we like to get up the court.
Yeah, we don't like to hang around in the middle. It's run shoot, maybe make a save every once in a while, but
unless Paul's on your team, then you basically have a permanent pick in front of you.
Yeah.
If you're on the opposing team, I'm sorry, but that's going to happen.
We played pickup earlier today, and at one point Paul was sitting next to me. Didn't even know he was on the other team. I thought he was just hanging out, and I was like, that was the most passive pick I've ever
was
gotten
pretty
hit with,
funny.
and it was the most tactical thing ever. She's like, "Hey man, I'm just hanging out. I'm like, Paul, get out of my way. What are you doing?"
By the way, I'm picking you, sir.
Yeah, I don't know. I started doing that a lot more because I had a really low ratio because I was slow, but then I've stepped it up again. I think that's actually helping me get a little faster, so now I can at least catch up to people.
I noticed that you're definitely quicker, but you have some of the. I don't know how you do it. You're always. When you're on the court, I have to be aware. If not, I'm eating shit.
Yeah.
Well,
which is usually the back of your wheel.
That was you for me when I first started. I'm like, gosh, Willis is here. I'm just not gonna. I can barely stop as it is.
And I'm just gonna stop right here. I mean, I don't think I can do that anymore. Is that what the obstruction rules try to get rid of?
I don't know. We don't worry about that.
Yeah, that'll be for a later
that'll be for
episode.
another time.
My philosophy on that is just play until they call you on it,
Yep.
and then just do the same thing in the next match because the next ref might not call you on it. But I don't know how it works. I just play polo. I don't care. I don't read the rules.
Like I get the crease because it'll be drawn, and I get the idea because watching hockey and everything. But the obstruction thing, man, I think Paul, you were talking about it earlier. He's like, man, I got to keep reading that.
I know. I feel like I got it, and then I play. I'm like, wait, did I break rules here? I don't know.
Yeah.
I just it's like the classic play to the whistle, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just because like I've read the rules, and everyone's like, did you watch the GIFs? And I'm like, yeah, they all look the same. Like,
okay,
I
that's a
watched them
short
all
polo
like
clip.
3 times. Like, oh man, like I see a bunch of stuff happening, and I see somebody setting a pick. That's air quotes because it's obstruction. I'm like, I don't know what this is. This is dumb.
We'll have to analyze that someday.
Yeah, I don't.
Probably soon because we're playing
Tournament
in
season
Heartland.
is starting to heat up. But
Oh,
Yeah.
it's getting started.
Well, speaking of tournament season and what is required of a tournament style game, what gear do you use and what do you like?
The gear that I would like to be using is 3620. The gear that I'm actually using right now is 3618. Something got a little mixed up in the freewheel order. So I'm actually going to be dropping down to like a 3418. So hopefully that gets me a little.
You know what's pretty funny is
What?
when we phrased this question, we were thinking what sort of like mallet, gloves, protective
Oh,
equipment.
But
I went
And
straight to
then-
gear ratio.
And you're like, oh, gear, right? Yeah, okay.
Well, no, actually, but about your gear ratio.
That's still
though,
pretty
like,
relevant, though.
Yeah, because I was watching you ride because like this is obviously like the first time I had seen your new bike,
Right.
And pretty much everyone in the club, and I was like, his ratio looks kind of steep.
Oh, it is. Getting going is sort of a pain in the ass. Once
Yeah.
I'm going, man, and
Got-
getting up enough
Got
speed,
that top speed.
I'm just
higher
like,
than everyone else.
and I'm just hauling ass here, and I'm moving over here, and now I'm going over here. It's just getting up and getting going.
Yeah.
And that was an issue when I originally got the Urbis. The gearing was wrong, and once that was settled, it got to be as good as it got.
Yeah.
Uh,
Because like when you were riding that bike, you were like cruising around. Because like your old bike was not. Your ratio was pretty sweet. I think for what you had going.
for what it was, yeah,
Yeah.
it was. And I'm getting a 34 front tooth or 34 front chainring from Pete on Tuesday, and we're gonna throw that on there and see
That'll be
how that
sweet.
works. So hopefully I get a better first jump.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I watched you jousting a couple times today, and you were like, you were a little behind, but not by a lot. So I think that'll really like pick up your game.
Yeah.
However, I know what kind of gear you like as far as like gloves and stuff.
Oh yes.
But just for the people, what do you rock? Like what's
Gear.
your-
I like the for gloves wise. I'm a huge fan of the Franklin. Are they juniors?
I don't know what they are. I know.
But
I
the
know
Franklin, just the
gloves.
straight up Franklin roller hockey glove, I'm a huge fan of. They fit me perfectly. They usually last about 3 seasons, so I get my money's worth out of them.
Have you thought about switching to the Fixcraft version of the glove?
I haven't, just because I'm so happy. I'm so happy with the ones I have, and I can get them off Amazon for $11.
Oh yeah, you can't really argue with that. That's
So I
pretty
mean, they
sweet for the
work.
money.
True value.
I would have liked to have gotten tried out those Northern Standard gloves a while
Oh,
back.
yeah. Didn't Coach?
Yeah,
Coach had
those.
them. He wasn't a big fan. He said they ripped up all to hell.
Yeah,
but,
his were shredded.
Yeah.
were they? I
Yeah.
think.
After
knew he had 'em.
maybe a season, they were pretty ripped up, but the concept seemed pretty cool.
But as far as shafts go, I was always a fixed scrap guy. But I got by accident a Northern Standard shaft at Team Bench. I was a part of the Team Bench team.
Oh, I was on that team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it,
I like totally forgot. I was like,
yeah,
wait,
yeah. We
I
played
was
team.
Like, when did you go to Team Bench?
Yeah, the
I
two-
was there. And I
with
was
the
like, oh, that's right.
2014 Team Bench tournament
Championships. That was
championships.
the champs.
Yeah,
That was fun.
Columbus, we got to go. It was
Yeah.
on the team. Caleb was on the team. Paul
Oh,
would have
where
been
were- where
would
were
have been
you?
on the team if he would have been in Columbus,
Oh yeah, you were stuck
okay.
up. You were stuck up near Cleveland. You weren't
I'll be
even in
back
Cleveland.
soon.
beside Cleveland.
R.I.P. Paul.
But I got a Northern Standard shaft, and I tell you what, it sucks that I was late to the party. So I have this one gold Northern Standard shaft that I've been using for the last few months, and I really, really like it. But there's no chance I'll ever get another one. And then I usually like the 2300 fixed craft heads.
Yeah, me and you both. We
Yep.
both like those are the old school ones.
Like the old school ones.
2300,
Yeah, the
right?
simple, all white. They're no fancy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Just
What is the 2500 is the larger one, right?
well, yeah. I like the 25.
Then it's the 25.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh,
it's the
okay. I was
25.
gonna say
25, sorry.
23,
Yeah,
I like to hollow it out myself.
yeah,
And then they just last.
yeah. The hollowing it out part is the best part because it's like a DIY project. You're like, got a new head. Can't wait to get my razor blade out
Yep.
and carve it
Razor
out.
blade, my knife. Here we go.
Yeah, because then you can like change the way that you hollow it out. So you can be like, well, I want it to be like super deep, and you can like really carve it out. Or you can be like, I need it to be a little bit more shallow, like whatever. You
Mhm.
can do that with. Whereas like the new ones, it's just like, here you go, we did it for you.
We did it for you. Thanks. Like, oh, well,
like,
you
"That
took
was-
all.
I
You took
like
half the
that.
fun. I
That
mean,
was fun."
look back in the day. I mean, I missed by maybe a year or two. Making my own mallets.
Yeah.
So this is my way. My way of sort of paying homage. But
Yeah.
I'm not a very mechanical guy.
Yeah.
I don't build things. My parents, especially my dad, don't trust me with tools. And it's not,
That's funny.
It
Lewis
is-
is gonna cut all his fingers off again.
yeah, it's not a
It-
joke because I've almost ripped my hand off with getting a drill bit out of a drill because I thought, well, you put the
Oh,
drill
man.
key in the hole. Well, if I push the button, then
Oh,
the thing will
no.
go.
Oh.
It'll be
no.
easier instead of just turning it by hand. Yeah, but yeah, my
Oh.
parents do not trust me with any
No,
type of tools.
I understand why you take everything to PG and have them put it together professionally.
Yes, I do.
I'm
Yes.
just gonna, I'm just
Now
gonna
you
tighten
know.
these chain ring
But you know
bolts,
what?
And now you got no toes.
Yeah.
Just like, how did you even manage to do that?
Oh no, I'll find a way.
Oh,
It was funny. My buddy Josh Dyrene, who brought me into polo, is leaving for Denver next week.
bummer.
He's moving. Yeah, it's a bummer. One of my really
That's
good
a
friends.
Serious loss.
But it was funny. My mom was
The
like,
city.
you should go and just talk to Dan and Emily at PG and just take Josh's job. I just sort of looked at my mom. I'm like, what? She goes, just go and do what Josh. Josh. I was like, Mom, Josh is a mechanic. She's like, well, yeah, you can do that. I'm like, no, I can't. She's like, well, why not? I was like, I know some things about bikes because, I don't own a car. I commute everywhere. I gave up my car 12 years ago, so I commute everywhere, and I play polo. I hang out in that shop, almost live in that shop.
And
but
you know that everyone doesn't like blood all over their bikes.
Exactly. I've picked up some stuff, but just the amount of knowledge, I'd say when the other mechanics are sitting around talking, working on stuff, and I'm sitting there, I absorb maybe 15% of what they're saying. Everything else is just like way over my
all
head.
that jargon.
And it's funny, my dad was sitting there, and my dad just sort of looks over at my mom and was like, he would have to use tools in that job, right?
Oh.
And my mom's like, oh, never mind.
Scratch that, then.
Like, thanks for the support. Dear Lord.
Oh my gosh! Didn't you get like a weird like prize package from Magic somehow or something? Because don't you have a Magic grip on your?
Oh, I
your
do. Oh, I'm
stuff
sorry.
like
We're
that?
talking about gear. I do. My sister and my brother-in-law were in, not Zurich.
Yeah, I knew there was some like weird travel story.
I
that
think it
got
was
you
Prague.
somehow.
I believe they were in Prague. And they walked in. My brother-in-law and my sister both ride. They live in Chicago, and they went into a bike shop because they like to do that when they're in different countries. And
You can find some cool stuff like that.
yeah, and they were my brother-in-law Alacio was looking at stuff and overheard these guys talking and walked over and saw that they had mallets. And he asked me, he's like, "Oh, you guys play bike polo?" And I guess they spoke some English. Like, yeah. We play bike polo. You play bike polo? He's like, no, but my brother-in-law plays bike polo.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, cool. And they handed Alacio this thing, and Alacio didn't know what the hell it was.
Yeah.
So he brought it back home and was like, hey, I got you something. I'm not really sure what it is, and handed it to me, and it's a Magic
It's the grip, right?
grip
Yeah.
for the shaft. And I finally got it on there after I had it sitting around. I was like, I taped all my mallets myself.
Yeah, I'm a taper.
Yeah, your tape. I enjoyed taping it until I really like this grip.
See, that's what I was gonna ask you. Is because like we already talked about how we feel about the whole like my mallet head is like pre-carved out and stuff, and like I love taping my own mallets. Like I'm so proud of my tape jobs. Like I will like.
You show. You're like, hey Andy, check
like,
this.
hey,
Look
you
at
should
this.
check out this tape job. Like I get a new mallet. And I'm like, oh, I'm about to go home. Like, I got a huge smile on my face. I'm like, I'm going home. I'm about to, like, make some, like, tape cord, like, throw on, like, some shows on my Netflix and just, like, tape my mallet for, like, an hour.
Yep, I'm just going
like,
to sit here and enjoy Netflix.
I love it.
Yep.
I love it. It's my
And
favorite thing.
I actually do miss doing that, but I have found, I don't know whether it makes my mallet lighter because I don't have as much
All, like,
tape
the
on
tape
it,
everywhere and stuff.
or I will say this, they are a pain in the ass to get on.
Yeah, I saw some weird stuff with a bike pump.
With
go down
a
or
bike
something,
pump
like
and
some
spit
weird-
and
Oh.
not really.
Sounds like a bad
Like it
story.
was-
Travis had to help me get mine on. Mr. Davies had to.
Did you have to spit on your shaft to get it on?
I did have to spit on my
Okay.
shaft to get it on.
Sounds rough.
Yeah. It's a little embarrassing because I was out in public doing this, and
Just right on the
but
bike.
I will say this, man. I like it. I like it a lot. I feel that it's more comfortable, and
You're like,
it's not as fat up top. I don't know. It feels right, and I've been really impressed with it. I just got 2 of the Fixcraft grips.
did you put them on already? Or
I
no?
put them on other mallets I have at home, and I've been sort of testing them out.
Yeah.
I like the Magic better.
Really?
Yeah.
Has it got a
But
different
that-
texture
that's
It's
just
too
me.
bad that Magic shipping
Yeah,
is like $1 million to get it
exactly.
shipped in
Yeah,
here.
well, I'm glad I got that one for free.
Yeah. that's
Hopefully, I
nice.
can get it off when that shaft goes bad. But yeah, it's a different texture, Paul,
Mm-hmm.
and they have on the back side of the grip like a flat line, so it's like flat, not round, and that bothers me.
It does.
Yeah,
Really?
I don't like
That's
it.
Weird. Yeah, because like you've seen my mallet, and I do
It reminds me a little bit how
Yeah,
you do your mallets.
because I do I do like a shooter, so
Mhm.
I always know like which way my mallet is facing. Because like Fixcraft, that new mallet head that just came out, they put like the sticker on it,
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's completely useless for me because I have tape on there that lets me know exactly which way my mallet is.
Oh,
facing.
that's why you do that.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know that.
It's also, you can kind of when I used to play with an extra tough instead of the ultralight, when I would shoot and if I'd snap my wrist, that ball would curve so much that I had to switch mallets. It was bad.
Maybe that's why Fixcraft did that on theirs, and I have mine backwards.
You
I'll probably put it on backwards,
yeah.
not knowing. Yeah. This
spin-
is why I
spin
should
your mallet
not be
around.
unsupervised
With your-
when putting polo shit together.
Well, oh gosh.
And then I run. I just sorry, this is taking so long on this
Oh, no, you're
question, but I'm a big firm believer in the chrome forged rubber shoes for somebody who plays on flats.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Not a
Oh.
whole lot of give at all. I just got the new camo ones. I like doing a giant commercial for them.
I can see them. They're
Yeah.
pretty sweet.
They're
I
pretty
like-
sweet. I actually almost bought some of those.
I really like them, and they don't have the problem that some of the other chrome shoes I've had before. They don't hurt my feet and cause tons of blisters. And
Yeah.
Do you
all
wear
that
them
fun
around,
stuff.
like outside of bike polo?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Yeah, they're comfortable. And then just for helmet wise, I don't wear a face mask. I'm not that pretty. I have a beard to protect my face. My beard will reach out and just grab the ball.
What kind of
or
helmet you got?
I do the burn.
Yeah.
I have an old burn that I got, and I never wore until I started playing bike polo because I feel I look like a freaking space ball.
See, it's really funny because I have I have a lot of hair, so I have to wear the Burn 3X, and I have the one that has the liner with the little it looks like a cycling cap on the
Oh
inside.
yeah, the visor on this.
But you actually just wear a cycling cap under your helmet all
Yeah.
the time, and I always forget that you just have a
It's like,
different
oh wait,
Burn helmet.
Willis just wears.
Willis just has
that
hats.
damn.
He's always got hats.
The
Well, I
hat
walked
guy.
in. I work at Lucky's Market, and I walked in the other day. I left the house. I got to get up at 3:30 in the morning
Oh my.
to go.
That's just-
to be at work,
I don't
and
have time for that.
I live 13 floors up in a high rise, so I get all the way down,
Oh, look at you, all fancy like.
and I forgot a hat,
Mm.
whether it be a knit cap or one of my cycling hats, and I decided not to turn. I was like, I got to get to work, so I get to work, and I'm working, and this girl comes up behind me, a girl that I work with, and she taps me on the shoulder, and I sort of turn my head, and she's like, "Hi, my name's Lindsay. Are you new?" And stops, and she's like, "Oh,
Oh, it's
Andy,
Willis.
it's you." I'm like, "Yeah." And she goes, "Oh, I thought you were somebody that was new." And what's different about you? I'm like, "Nothing." And I was like, "Oh, I'm not wearing a hat." She goes, "Oh my God, that completely changes how you look." I was like,
Liz is
"Dude,
become a part of you.
life-changing.
am I sexier, or
Is this
No.
is
good?
that why you approach me?"
I think the hat probably adds +2 to sexiness.
So what you're saying? I'm more Gucci with the hat. Without
Okay,
the
we
hat.
don't need to go into the whole Gucci
That's
conversation.
No?
for Caleb's
Okay.
story.
We'll figure that one out.
We'll do the
later.
Gucci and Ratchet conversation
Yeah,
later.
exactly.
Okay,
We
cool.
all know how much you love those words. So, who out of anyone you've played with,
Played-
would you,
Oh, sorry.
who would you say? who
Sorry.
would you say that you play the best? Who's your favorite people to play with? Like from
With?
Columbus or from anywhere?
I've never played with anybody outside of Columbus. Any tournaments I've ever played with have always been with Columbus people. My favorite people to play with will probably be Caleb.
Well, thank you. That's
Because
very
you do
flattering.
I remember the day one of the first times that me and you played together, and we did the give and go,
Oh.
and you knew what I can't remember whether you did it to me or whether I did it to you.
I don't know.
the
It
give
takes
or-
two to tango
Yeah.
for that one.
Yeah, whether it's the give or go, and I just remember just being flabbergasted. I'm like, you know what that is?
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah!
No, that's the thing is I always talk to Josh cause we are planning on being on a team together for
Mhm.
Heartland. It's gonna be me, you,
And hopefully Josh Jackson.
And so I always tell him, I'm like, dude, Willis runs hockey plays. If you've ever played if you ever watch hockey, know anything about hockey, he runs hockey plays. He moves the ball because we played on another team together. We
Right.
played with Spencer. We played with Come On Dudes, and it's we just link up.
We
So,
do- we
I,
do
I
link-
really do like playing with you as well. It just works.
And as long as me and you are talking, we. As when we were playing with the Come On Dudes, it's like, okay, I know you're here, I know you're there, I know you're here. Okay, I'm gonna pass over here, and you're gonna be there.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. The other people, Josh Dyrene, me and Josh Dyrene
Yeah.
are a lot like that. We
Got
haven't
the
played
link.
together in forever, but he brought me in. That's who I always practiced with.
Yeah. So, you
So
just know.
me and Josh were sort of like Peter and David.
Yeah.
Peter Brown and David Frankhauser.
Yeah, they're like weird.
But
brain twins.
as far as like just people, I just like to play. I love to I like playing with Paul. I like playing with Spencer. I like playing with Natalie. I think Natalie is a hoot to play with.
Yeah, she's just really fun.
And yes, I did just use the word hoot. I am a 65-year-old man.
Your age is showing.
What a hoot.
Born in the
I like
20s.
playing with Kay. I think Kay, especially now, I had a conversation with her yesterday. Her game is really coming around. She's getting faster. Her shots are getting better.
She's got that new bright front brake put on. She's about to go clipless.
Yeah, she's about to go clipless. She just went out and got her football padded pants
for the falling.
But most everybody I do really like playing with in Columbus because that's all I know, and I've played so much pickup with everybody. I could sort of just jump in and play with them. But my favorites would probably be Caleb, Christian.
That's me, not Christensen.
Not Christensen. I hate that fucker.
That's a whack last name.
That guy's a bastard. Dyrene when he was playing, and actually somebody I really not necessarily like to play with. One person I really like to play against.
Yeah.
I love to play against is Justin Brown.
Yeah, it's because he plays like some crazy ass like Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah, but I like playing against him because I can just do all kinds of just crazy. It just get him all riled up.
Yeah,
it's a good
always
time.
Those people. Like I remember when I first started playing and stuff. The only way I knew I was playing good polo was if Peter was really mad at me. If Peter Brown was like, if I'd like I don't know, do some dumb move, just bottom bracket him and then go around him, and he was like, "Fuck!" That's how I knew
you're doing well.
I was playing okay. It was
I knew
that's how I did it.
I sort of had to think. I knew I was doing pretty well, or having a good pickup game, or having a good night at polo is when I would get a shoulder from David.
Oh yeah, anytime you get bodied up.
If David felt like okay, he's playing well, he's feeling comfortable, I can give him a shoulder and get a shoulder from David Frankhauser. It used to. I remember. One of the first times it happened, sort of knocked me off my bike. I just jumped. I was like, "What the hell, man? Jesus!" And then after a while, I finally realized he was doing it as a okay. I think you can handle this.
Welcome to the world of the shoulder nudges.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you go and play the bobbles, and all hell breaks loose.
fucking Clevelanders.
Jeez.
Clevelander.
I love those guys, but man, they are a load.
They're very large men.
Well, they're large and they're fast,
which is a weird combination.
Now I sort of have, if we go to Heartland and we play them, I sort of have a.
You got a little strat?
I got a little bit of strategy.
Right, well, we're gonna keep that on the.
We'll keep that
low.
on the DL. I have an idea. Of.
All right. Well, we'll talk about that after that.
We may fare.
So we have mentioned two people in this so far in this podcast. We've mentioned Nico once. And we've mentioned Kay once. So Nico. I don't know if he just went back or if he's never moved up, but he rides flat pedals right now.
He used to ride. He was clipped.
That's what
for
I thought.
A long time.
That's what I thought. And then Kay is moving from flat pedals to clipless. So then now we're going to talk about this huge debate that everyone's having about the war between the clipless nation and the flat pedal
revolution.
Yeah, because it's coming back. I guess they're trying to do it. So I know, Paul, you've been pretty quiet over there.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm actually noticing here, Caleb, that there are a couple questions that got cut out.
Well, I don't. What questions are they? Are they even important? Speed round.
I would say
speed round.
Okay, this one is I think important, and it's your favorite bike polo memories.
Oh, what an answer! It's what is this? The yearbook section.
Being able to play in.
All right, thanks, Andy.
Okay. Just being able to get on my bike and pedal.
Okay, now what's the favorite memory?
Team bench. That was my first travel I had done. I got to go to Lexington, and let me tell you, if anybody ever hears this from Lexington, freaking love your town.
Yeah.
We're all about to head back.
Yeah, we're going back.
Eric Millard was an amazing host.
He's going west. Can't even believe that.
After he heals.
Yeah.
A big, just off side note, Eric had a misfortune of getting
crushed by a tree.
It's
not funny though.
And I just heard about it last week, and I'm really sorry to hear that. And hope you heal up, bub.
Yeah.
But
you got any more speed round
Team
questions?
bench? No.
Any more?
Well, this one I think is a good transition.
Whatever.
It's
These
how do you want to
aren't on
see
my
the
list.
sport progress?
Do I want to see the sport progress, or
How do you want to?
I would like to see the sport progress where there are clubs, active clubs, actually have their own home. I'm not
Yeah.
really worried about the professional side of it or people getting money because they're playing polo. I would like to see that active clubs in cities have a specific home, have
Yeah.
a specific place to play that they can go and play every day if they want. That they don't
Yeah.
have to fight off
I guess that,
um,
'cause
hockey players, soccer players,
cricket
cricket players. Dear
Oh,
God, cricket
here in
players.
Columbus, we don't play around with those cricket kids.
No, it's just just a spot that we can call our own, and that
Yeah.
we can not only develop ourselves but develop new people and bring new people into the sport to continue to grow the sport. That's
Yeah.
where I would like to see bike polo progress.
All right. Ding,
That's-
ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding. Okay,
Next-
yeah,
next
yeah.
I think
Sorry.
that's
speaker
pretty
question.
good.
I'm long-winded.
No, that's good because that'll like just bring everyone up.
Yeah,
that's,
just bring.
That's like progression for everyone. Anyway, what you got another question, Paul? Or you
No,
just
I
over there
thought
just
that's
hanging
it.
out?
We're done
Oh,
there.
Wow,
Is that
we
you
missed,
sure? All
we
right.
missed 2 questions.
All right.
That's usually like
There's
such a
one more,
back
but
kinda
it's
quick.
we're not gonna.
What is
What
it?
is it? Just what is
Let's
it?
throw it
Let's
out
leave the mystery out.
No,
there.
you wrote these
No, those
questions.
are
No,
What
mysteries.
is
because
it?
if we go out of order, it's
I
gonna
am
end on a
single.
bad note.
And ready to mingle, polo ladies.
If I could just describe Andy right now for you, he's a beautiful man.
Oh,
His beard is pretty amazing, actually. The Willis beard.
do you like red beards? And your name is not Nick McLean.
All right, Andy,
so-
your interview is over, I believe.
Okay,
Gosh, finally. All
Let's
right.
move on to our debate
that was a good
topic.
interview, man. You guys asked good questions.
Yeah,
All right.
whatever. Those
All
were
right.
some lame ass questions.
Clipless versus
Flat.
flats.
Well,
So, what do you think, Paul? Because you've been kind of chilling in the corner, not saying much. But
Yeah.
I know you just recently witnessed a very heated debate about this. I've seen the same thing. I feel like anytime you go to a tournament, there's always one or
retell
two.
your.
well, let's back up here
What do you-
before the time
what
of
do you-
polo.
Oh,
But
this
in
is-
actuality,
Caca.
when I worked at Paradise Garage here in Columbus for a couple months after graduation, before work, real work life job.
that's dumb.
um,
Those are stupid.
Yeah, I actually kind of want to go back to the bike shop, but we'll leave that for another day.
All right.
We were just kind of talking, the mechanics and everyone in the shop, and whether clipless pedals are everything that everyone says they are or not.
I definitely think so.
I think they were too, and I thought it was like a common knowledge type thing. But I guess there is a good debate going on between whether they add power or are good for your legs or are really the right thing. I've heard sides from mountain bikers saying that it's like a lazy man's way of keeping your feet in place, where if you
Oh,
had
no.
platforms, you could be just as good, or whatever in the road scene, you're not gaining as much power from them. But Caleb and I were kind of talking earlier that from clipless, like if I get really tired, I just start pulling up on like the backstroke
Yeah.
than I do in the front.
like not a lot, but you can do it, and it gives it like. And you said this, but it does. It changes up the muscles that you're using, and it definitely makes you like feel like you're going faster. Maybe you feel stronger, but that again those
Either
are like
way.
those are kind of things that like that don't so much have to do with polo, but like that. I mean, like you're commuting. Like, I don't know. I rode my polo bike today twice. I rode it one time with flat shoes on, and I hated it. And then I rode it with clipless, and I felt amazing. I felt like one with the bike.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like more locked into it.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't know.
now that I've
like-
gone
It's like,
clipless.
it's like if putting on your seatbelt in your car actually made a difference. Like,
Yeah. Well, if you don't put it on one day and you wear it constantly, it feels weird.
I don't know. That's the day you became free from the.
When I didn't wear my seatbelt.
Yeah, you felt so free.
Okay.
Going
guess
through
so.
that windshield. You're
Yeah.
free as a bird.
Whatever, Willis. You don't drive
Free
a
to
car.
drive.
Oh yeah.
But no, you're about to switch. At some
I'm
point.
about to switch it. Well, right now, the sort of the debate I'm having is, should I switch? I play flats. I've always played flat pedals. Now I don't play flat pedals like Travis Davies plays flat
Yeah. He's
Uh,
hardcore.
Yeah,
He's hardcore.
he doesn't
flat
ever
pedals.
need to switch to clipless. I
No,
guess.
I think he should. He'd be sweet.
You think?
Oh, he'd be because he gets like foot downs on the most ridiculous things, but that's a different point. So
All right.
you're about to switch.
I'm about ready to switch. Now I ride clipless with my road bike,
Yeah,
and then my commuter bike I ride flats with straps.
yeah.
And I really do like straps on my flats.
Yeah.
But polo,
Straps
I
are
do
fun.
just straight flat. So I'm actually I'm curious to see how I do. Is it going to change? Is it going to change my game to where I'm going to be regressing for a while?
Hmm.
And if that's true, I don't want to be going in the Heartland with teammates not playing my best polo.
Well, that's the thing is you already know how I play. I will literally like change something on my bike the day before the tournament.
Right.
Went disc the day before a tournament. Put a back brake on day before a tournament. Changed my lever day before a tournament.
I
Like,
remember that.
it's fine. That's just how you do things. But I don't know. I mean, like you do like from the Switch because I used to play with straps. I learned how to hop in straps.
Yeah, me too.
Mhm.
I
Which
actually
is-
had platforms, then straps.
Yeah, and
started
a lot of
trying to
people
hop.
say that that's a terrible idea, but I feel like you have to get used to getting out of something at some point, and like
Yeah.
whether or not it's straps or clipless, it's not the same motion, but you're still getting out of something. But you do have that like 2 or 3 weeks of like landing on your ass and like
Right.
falling on your hips, and it's not fun.
Yeah, which I mean, I don't mind that. I don't mind. What I mind is having people rely on me and going into a game
Well, that's
doubting
that's-
my
that's the
doubting
thing,
my
though, is that
skills.
The good thing about them is that you can take them off. Like you can take off your clipless
That's
pedals
true.
and like go back to flats, and it won't change your game up that much. But I will say the first time that you're like riding clipless and you feel like you're falling over and you like hop and you stay up, you're like, oh my god.
You know what? That's what I kind of want to talk about next.
You're like,
Is
I'm one of the greats now.
I almost exclusively switched to clipless because I was finding myself hopping to stay up with straps
Yeah.
and then hopping into position and goal and like maneuvering around. So
You gotta close
clipless
the
for
back
me,
door.
like forget the power, forget staying on your bike, like being able to jump. And I mean, I know you can do it with platform pedals. It's a lot more difficult, but having that like cheap ability to stay up and to
Yeah.
position yourself, I think is like totally worth it.
Oh yeah.
Well, the Europeans don't seem to think so.
You want to talk about that, Andy?
There's quite a few. Well, I mean, that's really sort of where the debate came up a little bit. Was
Yeah, and I mean like it's happening here too. Like they're like I don't know. I think it's the last 2 years they've been doing that back break in the day.
and they do flats, just
Yeah, you
straight
have
up
to
flats.
you have to have flats and a back break, which is like a throwback, which is cool. But they're like actual tournaments now that are popping up with like you can have a front break, you can like play whatever style you want, like but you just have to have flat pedals.
Yeah, the European just threw somewhere over in Europe. I think it was in France. They just threw a huge tournament that was flats only. Some of the things that I've read online on 321 Polo, and then I can't remember where else I've read it.
They should totally sponsor
But-
us for this.
They feel that going back they cited that if you watching the World Championships, which I did this year,
Yeah.
and a couple of things I do have to agree with. The games were sort of boring.
No, there were a lot of games.
It was
that
just
were
sort of like,
not necessarily fun to
okay,
watch.
yeah, oh, we're hopping over here, now we're hopping over. Oh, yep, now okay, now nobody's going. There's no drama there, and a bunch of the Europeans, I guess, were like, well, if we want to make things more interesting, sport more interesting, or the games more interesting, let's reintroduce flats. Everybody on flats.
Mm-hmm. And
I-
I
thought it was interesting.
I get that, but in my mind, when I think of a bunch of people playing on flat pedals, is like I see a lot of people like that would be like really good at staying up, like just edging people out that aren't as good at staying up and stuff. And then it'll just be like races to the dab spots, like.
Well, you're gonna have races
that's
to
what
down
I
cells, but
see.
that also, I mean, it makes some of the games a little bit more exciting when it's a close game and somebody has to go and dab, and you got a team a man down that's only up one goal or tied.
Yeah,
I
I don't know. I
a
feel
little
like-
bit of it is almost like, well, you just want to change just so you can, put some drama in some certain situations.
Yeah, but I don't know if like people dabbing constantly is going to be the drama that they're looking for.
What you're looking for. That's true.
You know, that might make rules more difficult because I've always thought that the dabbing rule, like get out of the play, go dab back in, that can get a little dirty sometimes.
Yeah,
If
sometimes
someone's like
you're,
in the
like-
middle of something,
Like that's real obstruction right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
it's even today in pickup, like there was a ton of like, oh, the ball hit your bike after you try to get out of the way, or you go for a dab spot, now everybody's there.
Yeah.
I've always thought has been a little bit interesting, but
So I don't know how necessarily maybe that's not a flat pedal debate. Maybe that's like a different kind of thing. But I don't see the point in that. The argument that I always hear and like I heard from a couple different people that like they like it because you have to be more tactical because you can't hop. So it's all about like making sure that you're just in the right position to begin with and that kind of stuff. So it's like more of like a I don't want to say like mind game, but you really have to be paying more attention. But
I kind of see that. I think you can't like just hop your way out of danger, which I've done before. I mean, you can hop on platforms. It's just
yeah,
it will be a very controlled hop. Like if you're
Right.
backing into goal or something, you could probably do it. But if you just are falling and in the heat of the moment, can't just pull up on your pedals like you can clipless.
Well, the one thing that was said was supposedly it was supposed to help make games more competitive, which I didn't know.
Are they not competitive?
I guess that sort of well, that's what I'm saying. I guess it was sort of went over my head because I didn't understand what they meant by more competitive. Putting everybody on an even playing field. Well, most of the people at World Championships are clipped in, and
yeah.
they're all on an even
Is
playing
there something
field.
similar in another sport where, I'm thinking like cleats or something? It's in another.
It's like you still
Like
play.
in
You still
baseball,
play
you
outdoor
can't play
soccer.
steel cleats, right? It's got to be plastic now or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I don't think
and you
that's
can
the same
also
amount of
like
difference,
change
though.
around how your cleats are
Positioned.
depending on the field. But everybody knows what field
It
is
seems
they're going to be
pretty
playing on,
minor,
so they
though.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like something that would change it up that much. It's
Yeah,
not,
we're gonna
'cause, like,
standardize seat
this
posts
is
now?
like exactly. It's
Yeah.
like, that's what I'm wondering. Is is it going to be like there's like two different styles? It's like if you're playing in the club bench, you're playing with flat pedals. If you're playing in the normal standard 3-on-3 format, you can play clipped in. Like, is it going to move to that? Is it going to be like where there's like a bunch of different kinds of like because like in the velodrome there's a bunch of different types of cycling. You have like one-on-one sprints and then like I don't even know what they're called, but they have like different team events and stuff. Is it going to be like that? I don't know.
I hope not. I mean, I thought it was interesting that the question was even being brought up and it was going to sort of be an issue.
Yeah, it was kind of out of
But
nowhere.
my thing is, yeah, it
It
was. I
really
was just
was.
like,
Yeah.
really? This
It
is the
was
thing?
It was like somebody, like one dude with flat pedals was like, it's coming back really hard. And everyone was like, oh, man, for real? Like, this is crazy.
I thought it was gone. I guess not. Should I go buy?
And I guess that's
Go
another
buy 'em.
question. Is it like a step forward? Is it a step back? Or is it like just a whole nother direction?
It's just one guy in Europe that works for Fixation.
Dude, it's a weird.
buy our
tangent.
buy our pedals, please. No, I mean, I don't think it's going to go one way or the other. I think it's basically going to be whatever you're comfortable playing on.
That's,
for God's
yeah,
sakes.
that's true.
Well, you know what, Willis, you are on flat pedals right now, so this could be to your advantage if everybody comes back. So what's your thought on that? I know you're thinking about switching to clipless, but
If everybody just starts rocking flats,
yeah, if it's
oh,
like
my
a
ass is going
requirement.
to clipless.
Yeah.
I'm getting my advantage. Just
I'm doing it. Like if
Yeah.
everybody switches, I'm staying. Like I'm gonna stay.
every
There's-
advantage I can get.
Yeah, there's no way that you're gonna catch me on flat pedals anytime soon. Like
When they allow spikes on the end of the mallets, oh, you bet your ass mine will be on there. I'll be
well,
the
no,
first
and
one.
in Columbus we play like a different. I don't want to say different kind of polo, but we play a very like specific kind. Like we train people to play a certain kind of polo with
Yep.
like the way that our like club hierarchy goes. Like it definitely like drips down, and people like pick up stuff from other cities. But a lot of it is like we play like a sprint, shoot, like long shots, like hard long shots, that kind of thing. But we have a couple people in our club that hop a lot, like to the point where
Unnecessarily hop, yeah.
like hop to the part like to a point where you're like, dude, you need to stop. Like you're tired. I'm tired of watching you hop. Like just
pedal
turn
your bike,
Just
for
turn
God's
your
sakes.
bike in a circle. Like I just watched you hop 360 degrees and the ball's still going the other way. You're still facing the wrong way. Just ride your bike. So like there are ways that you can not necessarily need to hop. Like you can do wheelie turns on flats. You can
Right.
do endos on flats. But like I don't know, like I feel like some of the people like from our club, like you're making hopping look bad because you're just doing it too much.
All the time.
All the hopping.
Yeah, I mean, if they want to wear themselves out, go for it.
I mean, I'm cool with it as long as they're not on my team. As soon as they're on my team, I'm gonna be yelling at them.
It's like hop, 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 hop. Stop it!
Get off
Stop
the
hopping.
hops. Like just roll.
Would you go forward?
It's like
Just roll forward.
your bike has wheels on it. Like they're made to roll. But I don't know.
That Rust Belt fork is tough, but you're really starting to wear that fucker out.
Oh gosh. Yeah, we do have a lot of rust belts.
Lou says, "Please stop hopping."
But so I don't know. It's interesting because everyone has like an opinion on it. I know that Travis has started like kind of filling in for, the $3. He's
Oh,
starting
yeah.
to play with Peter and David, and I know that they're not like being over the top about it, but they're kind of trying to like lean on him and be like, dude, maybe you should like think about switching over, coming to the dark side. And he might never do it, and he's a great player, but I will say he would be way more dangerous if I couldn't just like, like be shoulder to shoulder with him and slam on my brakes, pull the ball back, have him roll out in front of me, and just sit there and wait for him to foot down.
That's a good point.
Like,
Well, I will say this:
that's not even saying anything to his like ability on the bike. It's just hard to stay up. Like if he could grab his front brake and hop back and meet me like Peter and David do, I would be way more afraid of him. Like he strips me off the ball all the time. But that if he could do that, I would be even more afraid.
You asked me my favorite people to play with.
Yeah.
On the opposite note.
No. Actually, you know what? No. Question time's over.
No. I'm just saying, Travis. I hate playing against Travis.
He's got really
defensive.
long arms.
Well, it's the long.
And he's fast.
I swear to God, Columbus is the land of players with long arms, and I'm the Tyrannosaurus Rex of the bunch. It's really quite annoying.
Got these tentacle arms.
Dear Lord, but I hate. He's one of the most defensively sound players I've ever played against, whether it be tournament or anything. So, whatever he decides, I think he'll do well.
Yeah.
I think even if he goes and plays just on flats, he'll be all right.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if, he'd be, and I kind of was thinking that with you, Andy, if, like, people that play on flats now are more into trying to have people have to play flats. Just because, everyone that has, let's say, an advantage, that'd be taken away. I really think that's the only people that would defend this debate. I don't know that anybody on Clipless would say, oh, you know what, I guess this would be more fun if we switch back to flats.
That's the thing is, I feel like it wouldn't be well, and like again, this is me just talking, whatever. But like, I know for a fact that like silly foot downs that like I have during pickup don't make me feel very happy. Like I'm super stoked when I go to a tournament and I play a tournament game and I don't dab. I'm like, oh, dude,
I think
that was sweet.
I think that's why it was brought up is to make because people watch the games like, well, let's make the games harder.
Yeah,
by let's make it more challenging.
Well, I feel like if you want to do that, why don't you just put a 2-point arc in? Because then if you're shooting 2-pointers, then like you'll have a lot of 50-50 balls. You have a lot of longer shots, which will lead to more turnovers, which is more ball movement. Maybe that would be better.
Yeah, I'll agree that something else, a different rule maybe, would be better than
I don't know if we need
this.
more rules, but
Well, it just
they'll probably be confusing.
You're just
they'll
talking
probably
about
need more
2-point line
gifts.
though.
Oh, I know. I'm just like spitballing here.
Just
though.
make sure you watch the GIFs, okay?
They don't help.
They're GIFs.
Doesn't matter.
Maybe we'll have a show about
Put 'em
going
on
through
Tumblr.
them and explaining.
Going what?
Going through and trying to explain them.
I don't know if I can handle that because that's confusing.
We probably have
I
to
don't
understand
even
them
understand
first.
it.
We each get a set of rule sets. Everybody picks one and try to explain it to the other ones.
Whatever. I know what a goal looks like sometimes.
Is it short or tall?
Oh, I'm talking about when the ball goes in the net.
Oh, okay.
That's the only thing I know how it works. But
getting goals.
Getting buckets.
But that's what we do here in Columbus. We get buckets.
Buckets.
Right. And, that's
Well,
how we do
Willis,
it.
I'm glad you got to answer the little questions we had going on.
No,
today.
it was awesome to be here, guys. Man, this is fantastic.
Yeah. Living the Columbus life.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
pretty sweet. But
Columbus Live in Caleb's basement. Shit.
oh yeah, dude, this is my pad. This is where we hang out. This is where the business
This
goes
is
on.
this is pretty Gucci, dude. I have to say.
Yeah,
Let me use your lingo. It's
Your-
pretty Gucci.
your
I'll give
jabs-
you that.
Your jabs in my ribs are appreciated greatly.
Well, stay up with this podcast. We got a lot of material for some more episodes, and
Hopefully we'll get
at
Willis
least
back.
us three will be back. Hopefully,
Run a little
Oh,
2-on-2.
yeah. If
baby.
you guys want me back, I'll come back.
yeah, we've got
Heck
some
yeah.
more people that are interested, and hopefully we'll get some out of towners in here too.
That would be dope.
That'll be pretty sweet.
But that's all for now.
All right.
Well,
Peace
I'm
out.
Andy Willis.
I'm Caleb Christensen.
I'm Paul Liska.
You're never gonna let me live that down.
No, never.
Well, that's this episode of Shuffle. Y'all take care now.